this be controversial? Let's see. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about people who maybe are not right for the resale market. If you prefer to buy new, then I think that's great as long as you're able to do that in a financially comfortable way. But sometimes you cannot both have your cake and eat it too. A lot of the times with the pre-loved market, which by the way, I prefer. I've done a video about this. I'll leave a link down below. Be sure to go check it out. Sometimes, especially when it comes to pricing, there are certain concessions that may need to be made at certain times. And I think that it's really important to kind of understand what you're getting into beforehand. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. First and foremost, are you mostly new, mostly pre-loved? Please comment that down below. If you do only prefer new, what stops you from the pre-loved market? I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's get started. If you, like I just mentioned, require store fresh perfection, maybe the resale market isn't for you. You can find great bags at every price point in great condition. All over the market, everywhere from eBay to places like Fashion File, your local consignment stores. But, every once in a while, there may be a scuff or a scratch. And yes, of course, I do believe that things need to be priced according to the condition that they're in. Very important. But that is just kind of a part of the game. And now, obviously, I do believe that it is the responsibility of the sellers to accurately and responsibly disclose every flaw, every issue to the best of their capabilities before the purchase, before money has exchanged hands. But also too, some buyers out there to maybe manage their expectations. When you receive something from resale, it is going to be handled perhaps by people in store. At very minimum, it's going to be handled in the process of the photos being provided to you, the person intending to buy it. This bag has something that I would argue is probably a pretty big design flaw. This has a flap right here in the corner, and when you open the flap on this bag, it causes creasing here on the strap. If I'm gonna send you a picture of the inside of this pocket to show you that it's free of stains, I potentially am going to cause a crease right there. Things like that, unfortunately, are a lot more common than we would like. The Chanel flat bags, as well as the wallet on chain, a lot of them have the zipper in what we call the, what do they call it? Hopefully you see what I'm looking at right here. A little zipper on some of those bags that presses into the inside of the bag itself. So you can buy one new that has been sitting with it closed, and that dent is going to be there from the moment that it leaves the factory. And that is unfortunately a reality. A lot of the time, maybe you don't receive something that's pristine. Things, while they can be in excellent, great condition with tons of life left in them, maybe they're not pristinely store fresh, even if they have no cornerware, even if the plastic is still on the hardware. Maybe it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. But if that's not something you're willing to compromise on, then maybe pre-loved isn't for you. Now, the second reason to maybe not buy pre-loved, if you're looking to buy a handbag as a financial investment, handbags are not reliable financial investments. This channel does not subscribe to the belief that handbags are reliable financial investments because they aren't. Operative word there being reliable. Overall, in the last 10 years or so, the market has kind of leveled off. I think that largely gone are the days where you can go to a Goodwill or a Salvation Army and find an authentic Chanel bag in a bin, buy it for $8 and then resell it for $3,000. I don't think that that's happening anymore. I think that the resale industry has become a lot more prevalent than it once was. People are now aware of what it is sitting in their closets, and people, again, this is a broadly sweeping statement, but people know that their expensive items can be resold. Personally, I think it's great that more people are engaging in the resale industry. That means that less items are ending up in landfills. People are really giving things a second life. Overall, I just think that, yeah, the buy for one, sell for two motto of, you know, business, I just don't feel like we're doing that anymore. I just don't feel like that is really something that's able to happen right now, especially when it comes to designer bags. I do know that a lot of people will try to like go to the, you know, designer outlet stores and, you know, try to resell stuff from there. But I'm just telling you guys, the margins are so thin. Margins are so incredibly thin, and in order to, it is really, really difficult to make money, make money unless you are working through like some type of wholesale operation, which is an entirely different conversation that we won't have today. But yeah, it just doesn't work like that anymore, and that it sucks for many reasons, but it's also, I think, something that's really, really, you know, I think it's an overall net positive. The next way to know that resale is not for you, if you want something that is super, super highly sought after, high demand, low supply and high demand, that yields a higher price. I always tell you guys this, but there are people who did go to college and did pay money to a, you know, university or whatever to study this at school that are not able to compute this when it comes to their handbags. And some things are so highly sought after that they will go slightly above retail. Now, however, even outside of bags, anything is worth what people are willing to pay for it. And that's just it. That is just the answer to everything. I guess I want to like reframe the mentality behind this to say that, like, I, as a reseller, I don't set prices for anything. Like, I don't tell people like how much things are. I base my pricing off of like what the market says a certain item is worth, and that's just based on, you know, years of experience with people who are spending. And you know, if someone is willing to spend above retail, then the item is worth above retail. And conversely, if what people are willing to spend for one item is $300 when maybe you bought it, you know, for $3,000, like that's the reality, unfortunately. And you know, it doesn't always work out in everyone's favor, but that is the main reason why the mantra of this channel is handbags are not reliable financial investments. And now the last thing, unfortunately, is one unfortunate reality of today is that sometimes shopping on the pre-loved market is not going to get you the best deal. I've talked about shopping above retail in videos before. It is not something that I'm particularly willing or eager to do, but it is a part of the market that does exist for a reason. You're not always getting a deal, especially when, you know, going back on one of my previous points, you're looking for something that is so highly coveted and sought after that sometimes, unfortunately, the deal is that the item is available at all. Now, this is why, you know, I don't tend to shop for things that are so highly coveted and sought after. I don't really follow trends, because when you follow trends, you may end up spending more money than I personally am okay with spending on certain items. And that's a decision that all of us need to decide to make for ourselves. But for me to be very honest, I just try to make sure that whatever I buy, I am happy with the price that I pay for it. And if something is offered to me at a price that I'm not satisfied or not capable of paying, then, you know, I just keep it moving. So for me, that's among the many reasons why I decide to like not shop in the fashion cycle and like buy whatever color is the color for the year. That's not really my jam, and it never has been. And I talked about this before in relation to counterfeit goods, but you know, this is true of when things are outside of my budget in any capacity. Like, that means I don't get to have it, and that's okay. Yeah, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Again, I prefer to shop on the pre-loved market. I've done a video about all the reasons why that I will link here. But ultimately, you have a larger selection and maybe something with a bit of history and maybe something just a little bit different. And that's sort of what I like to add to my collection, and I'm curious to know how you guys feel about that. So that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!